All right, on tonight's episode of Python Papi, we're back inside our generative AI course, and we're still building our medical chatbot. Let's have a look at what we went over tonight. Now, I don't know if you can hear it or not, but you can hear a little difference in my voice. Let's see exactly why. So we're back inside our chatbot here. So let's have a look at everything we've been going over. So you can see here, just taking it from the top, these were installs here. Then we have our inputs. I can show you those really quickly. Then we start writing our code out. Then we have our data extract. You can see here's our extracted data as a whole. This is the whole book here. Then we split everything up into text chunks. You can see the length of our text chunk is 7,020. I point that out for a reason. Just keep in mind that it's 7,020. Even though we specified it to be 500, we didn't actually start picking any chunks out yet. So it's coming back as just one whole chunk, which is 7,020. Then we downloaded our embeddings, and then we returned our embeddings. Let me show you what that looks like here. So here's our embeddings from a Hugging Face. And then this is the part where we started running into issues after we did our model. We started running into issues with the Pinecone, and bam, as you can see, Pinecone has been conquered. So we have see our doc search equals Pinecone vector store from text. We have a check mark there. And then we have the doc search equals Pinecone store, Pinecone vector store dot from existing index. We have a check mark there. Then we have our query. What are allergies? Let's see if it's actually working and running. So we asked the question. We searched our docs. Docs equals doc search dot similarity search. Query K3. This means we want to get back the top three answers that are closely linked together. So the top three answers that are similar to each other, we want that return. And then we print those results out. Let's see if it actually worked. Results, document ID. So the question was, what are allergies? According to Gale Encyclopedia of Medicine 2, allergies, allergic, what is this? Redness is commonly triggered by exposure to household dust, animal fur, or pollen. The foreign substance that triggers an allergic reaction is called an allergen. The presence of an allergen causes the body's lymphocytes to begin producing antibodies. The lymphocytes of an allergy sufferer produce an unusually large amount of IgE. IgE molecules attached to mast end cells which contain histamine pollen grains, lymphocyte first exposure, so on and so forth. So I successfully linked our Pinecone database with our model. We were actually able to make a query of it, and we were actually able to get back a response. Just so I can show you that everything's up and running and I'm not just fooling around with you, here's our Pinecone database. And bam, as you can see, we are connected successfully. Finally, we have it down. Bam. How do we know we have it down? Remember that 7,020 I told you to remember? Record count, 7,020. So it's picking up all of our chunks, or it's picking up our chunk as a whole. Since we didn't break anything down yet, it's picking up our entire chunk as a whole and it's storing it here inside of our Pinecone database. Bam. Basically, I'm not going to say I did it all on my own, but yeah, I had to read a lot of documentation, a lot of GitHub, a lot of Stack Overflow, Pinecone documentation before I finally narrowed it down what I needed to do and how I needed to configure the code to actually work. I'm not gonna lie to you, I almost teared up when I seen this code run for the first time. I didn't think I was going to get it. I thought I was going to have to stop and maybe use a Chroma database, but I stuck with it and it came through. So yeah, Pinecone is down and out of the way. That's basically 90% of the code. As you can see, we do have two last pieces left. Now, this piece we already know is going to run. I ran it from you already. This is just the input prompt. When I run this is just going to open up an input box for us that we enter the query or question into that we're going to ask. So this last piece here is the QA, retrieval QA from chain type. And you can see as when I tried to run it, this is the error I got back. Missing one required positional argument, LLM. I don't see how it's saying that when I have the LLM right here. And the LLM is linked to our model right here. So you can see LLM equals the auto model for casual LM from pre-trained. I'm not sure, but like I said, we had to damn near build the entire code from scratch. Even though we got a code from the instructor, we had to modify it so much. It's almost a different code now. But yeah, that's neither here nor there. We finally got it, but we did have to make a lot of modifications and get a lot of bunch of imports I'm guessing those imports overrode the existing imports we had and moved things around. So now we just have to figure out exactly which imports we need to make sure this LLM gets read by the retriever QA, and then that's the last piece of the puzzle. We're done. So yeah, you can tell there's a little spring in my voice. It's a little different than last night. Last night, I'm not gonna lie to you, I did feel a little defeated because of the situation. I just felt like nothing was working as much as I tried, but I got up early and I got to it and I stuck with it. And here we are. Here we are. Like I said, there's a software engineer on the loose, and they call him the Python Papi. But of course, I will keep you guys posted every step of the way. For now, it's a Python Papi. You guys stay Gucci.